right, so welcome to another episode of the Tech Trapper Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Reed with 2530 Media. And today we have a very special guest, someone I've been wanting to talk to for a while now. He goes by Alejandro and he is Eink Unplugged. What's going on, man? How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I just want to thank you for having me in your show, and I'm looking forward to this podcast, man. I really appreciate you.
Oh yeah, man. I know it's gonna be a good podcast. And like I said, I've been enjoying your content for a while. You're actually one of my favorite e-ink content creators this out there because I just like the different approach you take to it, which we're gonna go over here today. But yeah, I'm just glad that you came on the show. We could have this conversation, link and stuff like that, man. Um, but yeah, let's get into it. So tell us a little bit about yourself, a little about your platform, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I got into this because I kept on moving, like I kept on writing on journals all the time, and also, I love journaling, and I how can I tell you this? Like, let's start from the beginning here. So my first e-ink paper tablet was the Scribe. And the only reason why I got into that is because I look for the health benefits in digital things. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be like the Aura Ring. Like right now what I have is an Aura Ring, and this will track my sleep, right? So I'm always looking for something with the when it comes to health. That's what I look for, and this really falls into that philosophy of what I look for. Matter of fact, I'm a personal trainer, but I like to consider myself as a holistic practitioner, someone that looks at the body, mind, and spirit. All right, so when I talk to my clients, I always tell them, things that can help them improve their life, right? And these e-ink devices allows them to self-reflect, journal, and it doesn't strain your eyes. So I'm always looking for the highest quality digital products I can find to help my clients and help myself as well. So that's how I got into this whole e-ink devices realm.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I got I bought the Ultra Human one, man. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, and it was a similar journey for me. I'm a diabetic, and I had a health scare
Mhm.
last year, and after that, I kind of got serious about my health, and I got the Ultra Human ring. And like you said, track your sleep. It helps you do a lot of stuff. It actually helped my wife detect she was getting sick a couple of weeks ago. She got an alert one morning that said a, a fever is on the way. It was weird too.
Mhm.
But and then like shortly after that, she was a little sick for a couple of days. But no, that's cool. And actually, like yourself, the Kindle Scribe was the first e-ink note taker that I purchased, and I loved it, and it helped me get back into journaling, having some self accountability and stuff like that. So that's super cool, man. And you're a you're a trainer. I
Yeah,
need
a
to.
trainer that considers himself as a holistic practitioner, someone that considers the mind, the body, and the spirit. I really think that all three aspects works together. We're not just one category. We're multifaceted.
Man, that's cool. That's cool. I stopped drinking as much as I used to, but now I just need to get back on the treadmill. I'm getting out of shape, man. Getting out of shape. Yes, sir. So yeah, man, we'll hop into it. So I guess the first question I'll ask is well, you told us what device got you into e-ink, and that was the Kindle Scribe. Um
Yes, the Kindle Scribe. But then I realized that I'd probably get bored of it very soon. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and move on to another device. And that's when I got into which one was it? I think it was one of the books. What was it? I think it was the 3C, I believe. No, the 3 black and white one. What's the name of that one? I forget. It's the black and white one. It
it's
was a
not the
while
Note
back.
Air 3C because that's color. Man, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. No, it was that no 3 but without the color. It's just black and white. And then I moved into the color, And that one also had some issues, like the battery life. It kept on running out, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna keep plugging this thing all the time.
Yeah, I know Rod would rant about tech. He hates the Note Air 4C. I personally don't really like color e-ink that much.
Hmm.
Um,
Well,
and
good e-reader, good e-reader, whatever their name is. They had a video out showing what it looked like, um, having it for years, and they showed where it was all melted, like the color was melted. It was horrible. And so now I'm a little worried about my Remarkable Paper Pro, and if that thing is gonna melt as well.
oh, okay. Yeah, how do you like that Remarkable Paper Pro? And we'll get back to the next question, but I guess how do you
Yeah.
like the Remarkable Paper Pro? And with books coming out with this new line of the Go 7 and of course the XC, those are going to have the USI standard pens. How do
Mhm.
you feel about the USI standard pen versus the EMR? Do you think one is better than the other? And what has been your experience with that Paper Pro with the USI pen?
Well, I don't have any issues with it, to be honest with you, man. And maybe because I'm not nitpicky when it comes to that kind of stuff, but it works. I love it. I love the feeling of it. And as far as the graphic goes, you get used to that dotted look that you get on the screen with the color. Um, but yeah, man, I would say that that's a very pretty device that makes me want to keep reading on it. I said reading, not like taking notes or journal anymore. Because once I switched to the other devices, like the black and white devices, dude, like I, I love writing in those things rather than the Remarkable Paper Pro.
And see, I never got into the remarkable simply because my issue with the scribe was it was limited. I didn't have a calendar app, and the organization for my notes and creative writing just wasn't there for me. And I know remarkable is kind of marketed as the distraction free device, and some of the stuff I read about it, you didn't get all of the organization that you could get with the books or even a Supernote. So that's why I never even kind of went to Remarkable. So when the Paper Pro came out, it looked nice, but I said if I'm gonna have the same issues that I would have had with the Remarkable 2, I didn't want to spend that type of money on it. And
Hmm.
I don't know, just people are kind of freaking out about this USI standard with the new books devices. For me, if the stylus works and I can get everything accomplished I need to get accomplished with it, I don't care because my Apple Pen is fine. It has the haptic feedback or whatever it is. It doesn't do anything weird when I write, but no, I don't know. We'll see. Books may get it right and they may not. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, and then not to mention you can always, return that thing if it doesn't, work out, because that's what I did. And I know it's a little wasteful, but I needed to know which device works best for me, and I needed to write on it, feel it out, check out, the functions and all that, because you're going to have this thing for a while.
Yeah, no, most definitely you will. You will have it for a while. Um, So yeah, what's your most used device for us e-ink? Because I know you have a lot of them. Because I know you do reviews. I know you got a lot of them. So tell me what's your favorite device or your most used device, and what's the use case for that device?
Woo! Dude, I had to go through a lot of devices to literally figure this question out. And it's going to be the Manta, man. Like Supernote Manta feels so nimble, portable, and honestly, man, I don't even stress if I accidentally drop it because it's scratch and drop resistance. And with that being said, I use it to journal, I use it to write my to-do list, capturing my ideas whenever I have them throughout my day. And some people say that thing is too big and get yourself a nomad, but at the same time, I don't know what it's like to have a nomad. The 10-inch works best for me.
That's cool. That's gonna be funny too. Because I know you check out Ed's stream, and
Mhm.
I don't not Ed, no, not Ed Rod, but I don't know if you're familiar with Ed with Organized for Change. He's a
Yes,
part of
yes,
the.
I know him.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Me and Ed, I troll him daily because he's super no guy all the way, and
Yeah.
I troll him daily. So now that I'm on a podcast with you, and once he hears this and hears you tell me that the Supernote Math is your favorite device, he's going to ridicule me for days. But no, that's cool, and I do think that's one of the positives with the Supernote Manta is that Mobius screen. It's not glass; it's kind of plastic, so I think
Yeah.
it's more durable. Because
Hmm.
this is my second 10.3. The first one I had, I dropped my phone on the screen, and it didn't crack the screen, but it did
Hmm.
something to the screen. And I was able to return it back to Amazon and get another one sent out. But that Mobius screen is more durable than these glass screens we have here. Um, with the 10.3, I ran into a situation where it's my dual device. I do a lot of creative writing and journaling. I do some script writing and things like that. But at work, I ran into an issue with taking, I take little quick notes for work, walking around the hangar and things like that. And I needed something a little smaller that I could use with one hand. So I went and grabbed this Mobi Scribe, bro. This Mobi Scribe Wave,
Mm.
and I bought it because it was on sale. I didn't have high expectations for it, but it actually works pretty good. It's a little sluggish, so it's not as snappy
Hmm.
as like the Manta or the 10.3 would be. But in regards to being able to use it, the writing feel, the calendar app, and even the notes app, it works pretty good, man. I'm pretty happy with it.
Dude, not to mention it was on sale. It was really cheap when it was on sale. What was it, like 100 bucks, 150, something like that?
Dude, it's still on sale. I bought that one. I bought the refurbished one for $99
Hmm.
because I didn't know if I was gonna like it. And then when I went back to the site once it came in, I realized I could have got a brand new one for 115. And then if you want to get the Mobi Scribe Wave Color, you can get that one right now for like 125. I just think
Damn.
I think the thing is, because Jeffrey Moss said this in one of his videos, I think they're gonna be leaving the American market within the
Yeah,
year. So
they
that
are.
might be an issue, but man, $99 for a quality e-reader and
Hmm.
note taker. Yeah, I'll take that all day. I'll take
Dude,
that
that's a
all day.
steal, man. That's a steal.
I wish Kindle would come out with a paperwhite signature with a writing with a writing surface in the note taking aspect because I
Hmm.
still use my paperwhite signature for my leisurely reading. But if I could take
Hmm.
notes on that, then I would be happy. I would it would be everything to me. Yep.
Yeah, and if you
So
drop it, I mean, dude, it was only 99 bucks, you know.
yeah, like so if I drop a aircraft tool apart on it, I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So all right, cool. Let's go on to this next question, which is a debate I'm hearing a lot, especially on YouTube. We're gonna talk about e-ink versus LCD or traditional screens. And I know you talked a little bit about this at the beginning of the podcast, those
Hmm.
benefits that you see. But like just how do you feel about that? The e-ink screens versus like our iPhones or iPads and stuff that we're usually using for productivity.
Okay. So we all know ink mimics paper, right? Which reduces the eye strain. It's also front lit, which doesn't mess with your sleep cycle. And it doesn't, flicker like LCD does. Now it does refresh whenever you turn the page, but it doesn't give you that issue that LCD screens do, which is the blue light. That blue light can affect your eyes. It can strain it, create dryness, and it will mess up your sleep quality. There's a hormone that we have called melatonin. This is our sleep hormone, right? So if we're looking at these screens, dude, like, okay, let's move back. So from when we wake up, we produce something called cortisol. That is our wake up hormone. From 5, 6, and onwards, that's when you start producing melatonin, right? The sleep hormone. And if you're here constantly looking at LCD screens, right, this is going to disrupt your sleep quality, right? So you're not going to be able to sleep as efficiently as you'd like, right? And again, you have these eye strains, dryness of the eyes, and possibly even harm the back of your eyes, which is the retinal cells. All right. There's also something that I was reading about LCD screens that have this thing called PWM. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but they said that that PWM is called pulse width modulation that controls brightness. This means that the screen will flash like super fast, really fast, like 100 times per second, and this will, like, we can't see it, but our brains and our nervous system can, right? And so symptoms will appear such as headaches, dizziness, nausea, and if you're sensitive to that, then you probably need to see an eye doctor. So it gets deeper when it comes to these screens. And I know there's other companies that are trying to get away from that. I don't remember the name of it, but this is known, well, at least in the health sphere.
Yeah, and see that's one of the reasons why I was drawn to e-ink because I have light sensitivity as it is, and I'm always staring at a screen, whether it's the computer or my phone. So to actually do my long format writing on the 10.3 with the e-ink screen, and then I do a lot of my leisurely reading on the Kindle Paperwhite. It's better for my eyes, to the point where that's why my wife, she uses the Kindle Scribe now because she loves to read. She was using her
Mhm.
Kindle app on her phone, and I think I bought her like a Fire tablet she was using as well, and she started having some problems with her eyes where she can't like see digital stuff like digital
Mhm.
clocks or like the menu on the TV for the TV. She can't really see that because it's blurred. And she's even spoke about how using the scribe to read instead of her phone helps her out. And I even noticed like with the Mobi Scribe and the Scribe, it's backlit when I use it sometimes at night, but it's still a different effect, at least to me, than when I'm on my iPad in the dark at night or things like that. So I do think that e-ink does give you those health benefits as well. Um,
I will
so
say that there's people that will deny it, right? But that's because they don't have the eye issues. It's very easy to say that, it's very easy to dismiss that part, when it comes to the health side of things, when you don't have issues like that. But I'm always about, let's reduce, let's reduce what we can, right? And that's why I use my daily driver, my phone. I switched to something like this now, the high brake. Again, trying to reduce that exposure, because I really don't know what happens when you keep looking at a screen for years to come. I don't know what happens. I just don't know if it's going to mess up my eyes. I'd rather just do what I can when it comes to health.
yeah, no, you're correct, and I think it does. I think it does something to your eyes. I don't know. I just noticed that when I go visit my goddaughter at school, have lunch with her or something, it seems like there are more kids now that wear glasses, and I feel like that has something to do with the fact that we're always looking at these screens. It seems like it's more
Hmm.
kids wearing glasses now than they did when I was in school and things like that.
Oh
Since
yeah.
you brought up the high break, that was one of our next questions. E-ink phone versus your traditional phone. So I guess in our case, your high break versus your iPhone. You talked about a little bit of the benefits, but just also
Yep.
tell us about what that experience is like switching from that traditional smartphone to an e-ink phone. How do you feel about that? And has it been a smooth transition?
Smooth transition, no. It has not been a smooth transition, dude. I keep wanting to go back to my iPhone, dude. Like, it's tough. I will say that it's tough. Um and I'm trying to go on YouTube, and it's so sluggish. It's black and white, so the visuals aren't, there. They're very low stimulation. But it does reduce me from scrolling and swiping. The For me, the LCD gives you that, what is it, that it gives you that dopamine hit, right? It's like that feedback loop that you get. It's that reward system that you receive from bright colors, the fast refresh rates, and the constant movements that you see on the screen. So to me, that is where I find the addiction. Not to mention social media is an addiction, right? It's like coffee, right? We keep denying that we don't have an addiction to coffee, but in reality we do. Can you stop drinking coffee for a day? You always hear this phrase, I'm not there because, I haven't had my coffee yet, you know? So that to me tells me, oh, you have an addiction, right? Can you actually not be on social media for a day? You're gonna be ticking, dude. You're gonna be like, I need to go check my feed. I got to check my likes. So that's why I'm trying to move away from that anxiousness to keep swiping and swiping. Again, we are all denial to this, man. We're gonna deny it.
Yeah, I'm definitely addicted to coffee. Uh, that's me. If I don't have coffee in the morning, I might be a little grouchy. Uh, no, you're right. So I tried the Palmer 2. I said if they come out with an e-ink phone, I like e-ink. I'm gonna get one. But to see if I can live with it first, I got the Palmer 2. It was okay. I know one of the problems were it doesn't have a SIM card, so when I was using it on the go, I had to be on Wi-Fi. But the only thing I was using it for, honestly, was like Reddit or Discord, because
Hmm.
like I said, I use the Paperwhite to read. The Palmer 2 was a little bit too small for me to read. I thought
Yeah.
my wife, being a flight attendant, would like it because it's the size of her phone, but she would rather read on a 10.3. And it was slow. It looked like a phone. I expected it to work like a
Hmm.
phone, and it didn't work like my iPhone, so I kind of didn't like it. Um, so I did buy I got a Samsung Z Fold and I have an
Hmm.
iPhone 15, and I did that because I was always on my iPhone looking at social media and doing other things, and I said, well, I'm only gonna look at media on the Z Fold, and I'm not gonna walk around with two phones in my hand at all times. So that's actually helped me cut down on some of that doom scrolling and stuff like that.
Mm.
Now, if I can just
Mm.
stay off of Amazon and online shopping, I can save some money. Yeah, man. But no, that's cool. So we'll talk about. I had this conversation with Raw from Rants About Tech, and I'll have it with you because you guys are two people who have a lot of devices, multiple devices, and I do understand you why, because you do a lot of reviews. So I guess, do you incorporate all your devices in your workflow? I know we talked about your favorite ink device that you use, but I guess I would ask, with the devices you use, kind of tell us which ones you have and how do you use them within a workflow?
Okay. So I don't use all of my devices. It's hard to do that when you have multiple devices. So with that being said, there is one that I can think of at the top of my head that I use for productivity. And you're gonna love me, Aaron. You're gonna love me for saying this, but it's the Note Max 13.3.
Yeah, because
Okay.
Books is the GOAT. You can do everything with a Books device. You only can just take notes with Supernote.
No, I will say this though. Like, I don't use all the functions because it has a ton, man. Like, I'm always learning from everyone. And matter of fact, I learned from you, Aaron, from your Books Go, because they're related to each other. And I would say there's a lot to learn on the books, a lot. But that thing, man, has so much landscape, like that large screen, the 1300 DPI. Dude, I can use that to do my psychology work, my biomechanic work, my holistic work. I can read on it. I can make the font bigger. I can annotate, take notes. Eh, Basically, I can do a lot on that device. I just don't like having to constantly change pages all the time. That's
Yeah,
why I like the Nomax.
Yeah, and I think the what Remarkable probably did right was that infinite scroll. That way you can just keep scrolling up opposed to having to switch
Yeah.
pages.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't buy the Note Max when it came out simply because I had 10.3. To me, it kind of seemed like a bigger 10.3, and I'm like, well, nah, I use 10.3, it's enough. Um, but the keyboard folio is what I'm interested in, and I saw people kind of using the 13.3 as like a secondary monitor. And when I do a lot of my long format writing and finalizing and typing, I wanna I wanted to get a e-ink monitor, but I'm not paying like $1,500 for one of those things.
They're so costly.
Man, they're too
They cost
expensive.
so
They
much.
cost so much. And
They're beautiful.
yeah. But with that with the Note Max and the 13-inch screen, I can pair that thing to a Bluetooth keyboard, and I can kind of get a lot of my word processing done because with it you can load like I have the Microsoft Office loaded on my 10.3. I just never uh, thought about pairing it to a Bluetooth keyboard to see how I would like typing on it. But I've seen a lot of people like Voya, one of the guys in the Discord, Jay, he uses it a lot with the keyboard folio to type and send emails, do some Microsoft Office stuff. So I'm probably gonna buy that instead of this XC. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
let some other people be the guinea pig for the XC first before I buy that one. But
Yeah. Same.
yep, I can see it being kind of hard to use all those devices, on a daily basis. You probably have your go-to one or two devices, and the rest of them kind of collect dust because that's what would
Yeah.
happen with me.
Yeah, man. It's just part of doing reviews, doing these unboxing videos that you just have so many products. And matter of fact, I had to sell a lot. I sold all my e-readers. I sold what else? I sold the scribe. I know I recently bought that thing, but I sold it. And then I bought another scribe actually. I'm going to buy another scribe for $150. So I'm a hustler. So I'm gonna try to find the best deal for myself, right? So but I can't I can't keep these devices, dude. Like when it comes to, making videos, you're spending a lot of money. A lot. People don't realize how much I don't tell them how much I spend, but it's a lot. It's a thousands, right? And I have to sell them to get my money back. I have to. I just can't keep them, and I only keep the ones that I want, which are the Remarkable Paper Pro. I did just get the Remarkable 2. I have the Note Max. I have I'm about to get the Kindle Scribe. What else do I have in here? The Super Note Manta and uh my Highbreak Pro. Those are the devices I have right now.
The High Break Pro. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, that's not the first e-ink phone you had. Didn't you have the other one at first?
I damn it, dude. Ah, you putting me on a spot now. I had the original Highbreak, the original Highbreak. I had the I have a problem, dude. I have a problem. I had the color version. So, dude, I keep going on and on and on. But again, I sell them. I just can't keep them.
So out of the ones you had, those three different ones, which one do you like the best, or which one do you think actually performs the best in regards to those e-ink phones?
This one, hands down. This one. I don't remember what the DPI was for the original one, the black and white, but it looked terrible. Whatever that was, if anybody can comment down below what the DPI is, but it was low quality, and I was like, man, this shit sucks. Especially when you have 1300 DPI tablets, and again having to go down on the quality is like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I can see that. If it's not the quality you're used to, you probably won't like it. I can see that at that a
Yeah,
lot.
man. Yeah, that's what happens, man. When you when you start buying devices that are upscale, it's hard to go down on the quality.
All right, cool. Let's talk about your page, man, and the content you create. Like I said earlier, I enjoy your content. I think it's a different approach. It's not like the rinse and repeat that what we see on YouTube a lot of best e-ink tablet that changes every week depending on what company's putting one out or just comparing tablets. You actually go out and you kind of introduce e-ink to people and get their reactions to it. So I guess
Mm.
just tell us about your content and what you think sets you apart from other content creators on YouTube in the e-ink space.
All right. So this is not my first YouTube channel, Aaron. I actually had another one called Holistic Habitat. I have another one called Holistic Habitat, and that's where I talk about the holistic lifestyle, how to eat, move, and be healthy. This one I decided to do because again, I told you it falls around that side of things, the intentional lifestyle, and that's what I focus on this channel is I focus on intentional devices to help people slow down, be more mindful, present. What some people might find boring or minimal, I try to bring it to life with fun, thoughtful, engaging experiences on that channel. So I will use what I can, like my create. I would say I have some creativity in me, and I'll just try to put that on screen.
Okay.
And I think that's what sets me apart.
That's cool, man. Do you how many people it's crazy. How many people have you converted to e-ink since you've showed them the eating devices and how they work and the things you can do with them? I sound like I'm a religious preacher or something. Have you converted? Yeah. How many people have converted to eating, man?
I wish I can say tens and thousands of people, but nah, man. I think I got two of my clients to do it. Yeah, and they got the Kindle Paperwhite, and the other one got the Scribe.
That's cool. Um,
You know that which is the ones we first started. You and I, Aaron.
yeah. No, I think the Kindle Scribe is like, and I asked somebody else this, but I think for someone who isn't who doesn't know about e-ink, the Kindle Scribe and honestly probably like the Remarkable too are probably the best products to get them started off on e-ink because they're easy to use. I mean, the Kindle Scribe is literally an e-reader, and then you take notes. It's not it's not like the books products. Books products you really have
Mm.
to dig into the tools to see what you need to use, and from there you just set it up to fit your needs or your workflow. I think with the Remarkable and the Kindle Scribe, it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. The UI is not confusing. And honestly, Supernote probably is not that much more confusing. It's probably I think it would be like in the middle because there is a learning curve to Supernote, but it's not as big as a learning curve when it comes to your books devices.
And what are your thoughts about the ranking system? Like, you you remember how in one of my video, well, a couple, well, I have like what four videos that are about sharing with others um, these four devices that I have, and what are your thoughts about their conclusion? Because they picked they picked what I got to go back on my videos, but Scribe was one of them. And the what was it? The Remarkable Paper Pro.
I think with that, it's subjective. So it's gonna be what
Mm,
that person plans to do in their use case. Um, if I'm like my wife, she's a person that just reads a lot and takes just some quick journal entries. She doesn't do a lot of productivity work on it. Um, someone in that use case is probably gonna pick the device that lets them read their entire library and just is ease of access to be able to take those notes. If you're someone like me who I'm writing scripts, I'm writing a book, I'm using it at work, and annotating PDFs and things like that, and doing my journal and using it as my daily planner, I'm gonna want a device that's kind of like a do-all device where I can have a nice calendar app with memo space. I have ease of access to be able to like send things to the computer and finish product projects when I'm working on them. I like the versatility of the books platform where I can have some third party apps on here. Like I have Obsidian on here, I have Microsoft Office, I have Gmail on here. Like I can use it as a backup to send an email out if I need to. Um, and I like the fact that I can, from start to completion, I can complete a thought or an idea to the point where, like, when I'm writing my scripts, I handwrite all of my scripts. I make the corrections. Once I export it from the 10.3, I copy, paste, throw that thing in Pages, and the AI on Mac in Pages turns it all into text. I don't have to do too much editing, and then I'm done. I like that with the books platform that I can do all of that there to the point where even like if I had a Note Max and I had a keyboard, I probably can once it's exported from the platform, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
So I think someone who has a use case like that is gonna want one of those dual devices. Someone who probably is strictly taking a lot of notes and they want to be able to index those notes and they kind of like they stay on the device, but they want to really be able to do global searches and search headers and things like that. Supernote will probably be the best device for you because it does that better than books, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's all subjective, but I did like it. It did seem like the people who were kind of new to e-ink, it seemed like they gravitated to those platforms that were easier to operate. I think the young lady she had on the Astros jersey, she kind
Mm-hmm.
of gravitated to the Paper Pro and the Scribe because they were easier to navigate. And I did like the video with the young lady. I don't know if that was your girlfriend or not, but y- y'all were doing the writing feel,
Mm-hmm.
and she strictly liked the Note Max because it was easy to write on, but the scribble function I think she liked. Which, while
Yeah.
I'm watching the video, you said the same thing. It never works for me that easy. I don't know how it was working for her that easy. Like she just was like, and it was over. And I'm sitting here half the time I got to scribble 3 times because the first time it
Yeah.
just writes on top of it. So I was like, man, how she do that?
She's a
Yeah,
scribbler, is what I said.
yeah. So how do you feel about the so how do you feel about the top 10 or top 5 videos we get every month from, and I'm not picking on a content creator, just I see a lot of content creators that do that. It seems like every month
Mhm.
there's a new list of what's the top eating device that comes out. Do you like that kind of content?
Do I like them? I it's entertaining. I will say that, and it's nice to hear their thoughts on why that is. The ones I don't like are the creators that aren't in this space. Those are trash. Those I'm like, maybe get somebody on that is in a space and know what the buyer wants, right? And actually, you know, actually tell people like it all depends on the person. I like that part. But I mean, Aaron, you and I know cuz we're in the space, right? We know those creators that aren't really in it and don't necessarily know the ins and outs of these devices. So I would say I like them if it's, you know, Ed, you if you were to make one. I can't think of other people, but Kit Bits actually was the first one of the first YouTube people I was looking up when it comes to these devices. He's the one that introduced me to a lot of devices when I first got started.
Yeah. See, I like his when he does his top 5 or top 10 lists. I like him because I honestly believe that when Kit gets these devices, he sits there and uses them. Like I
Hmm.
feel like every device that Kit will talk about and show and tell you he thinks it's the number one, it's probably because he's used that thing for 3 or 4 weeks. So I like his videos. Some of these creators though. I feel like they pick it up for one day and then whatever associate link pays them the most. That's what they like for that month. But
Yeah, yeah.
cool. So I guess my last question. So e-ink is marketed as a distraction-free device. Do you think that is a thing? I'm in the belief that distraction-free devices are going to be how you use them because I can find a way for my 10.3 to be a distraction. But do you think that
Mm.
e-ink can be a device that can help someone manage distractions and be a distraction-free platform?
Okay, I like this question. Um, but first we need to define what distraction is. So distraction is an object that directs one's attention away from something else. All right. So with that being said, for me, it's avoidance of self. So we distract ourselves from something that feels uncomfortable within ourselves. It can be someone's death. It can be an issue that we're having inside ourselves, right? So I literally think that we will distract ourselves from that, and it can be any device. I know my channel's about like intentional devices on that and all that, but there's truth to what I just said, right? We're going to use whatever it takes to move away from what feels uncomfortable within us, right? And obviously there's actually a biological benefit to distraction, It's actually good on a hormonal level to self-regulate ourselves, right? So there is some pros to distraction, all right? Because sometimes we do need that temporary pause that help us emotionally reset ourselves when it comes to these kind of things. But we really want to be truthful to ourselves if we're distracting ourselves from something else. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think there really isn't a distraction free device, but I think that we can at least know about this, like know why we are distracting ourselves in the first place. Why is it that we're doing this? So if you were to give me if if I were to, like, for instance, if I have my iPhone with me, right? It's easier for me to distract myself. Whether if I carry this thing around with me, I'm noticing I'm noticing that I want to get to my colorful screen. Oh, I can ask myself, "Oh, Alejandro, why do you want to go back to that colorful screen? What's really going on here?" Do you see what I'm saying? So it's that
Yep.
pause. It's that pause that I'm looking for.
No, I agree. And with the 10.3 or ink period, I don't think the device itself helps with me being distracted because I can still be distracted. My phone can ring. I can have something on the TV. I've noticed I just when I'm working on it, I try to remove distractions. If that's putting my phone on silent, to leave it in the other room so I can concentrate on what I'm doing. The main benefit, I guess, for me, if I said it aided me in distraction free lifestyle, is just the accountability. It got me back to writing, got me back to journaling more, and because of that, I'm writing down my goals. I'm going back reading the events of the previous days, and I'm seeing okay, I can change this, I can do this differently, because I just don't write down the positive. I write down the entire events of the day, something I did wrong, maybe a roadblock that I had, maybe a situation I could have handled differently. I try to write down some positives of the day and some things that I can change and correct from the day. In that aspect of it, it helps me kind of eliminate some distractions from my life. Uh, Gives me some self accountability a little bit more because now you're seeing it. It's hard to lie to yourself when you're talking to yourself while you're writing. So
Mhm.
in that aspect of it, that's how I use it to kind of help me eliminate some distractions, add some more discipline to my life, and things like that. But everything you said was correct as well. And plus,
Well, here's the thing. Well, here's the thing, man. Um, like I said in the previous question, I said like how the refresh rate, how easy it is. I tried everything, man. Like, if I have a tablet with me, or if I have my iPhone with me, I can easily delete Instagram, YouTube, other social medias, but I have to download them back. It's so easily accessible to do that. That's what I'm trying to say is like it's it's very it's very seducing when it comes to these things.
Yeah, man, I feel like social media should come with a warning label. And if I had kids, I wouldn't let. If I had kids, I wouldn't want my kids to be on social media um, at a certain age because I don't think that their minds are equipped for what comes with it. Like there are a lot of adults that I see, not young adults either, like 30s, 40s, my age,
Mhm.
that are addicted to the attention that they get from social media. They're addicted to trying to keep up with what they see. They don't understand that that's not reality. Um, I try to be intentional with how I use social media. I'm not a big social media guy. I have an IG, I have a Facebook. Honestly, I use it for shopping purposes. I'm into hot rods. I look at cars. I will say I do enjoy seeing a good train wreck when people crash out for no reason.
Say
So that's a little entertaining, but yeah, I don't you won't find me putting any like of my business on social media. I don't even put travel. I take a lot of travel content. I don't even put that on social media. It's not a
Mm.
real reason why. I'm just not a big social media guy. Um, I really don't even like being in front of the camera. I never thought I would actually have a YouTube page. I love creating content. I used to be a musician back in the day. We had a rap group like everybody from Houston, but um, outside of that, I love creating content. I write scripts for my wife. Her and her sister are actresses, and she does a lot of acting. So I like to do some behind the scenes stuff, write scripts, write creative pieces. I didn't think that I would ever have like a YouTube channel, and I had it because I've been podcasting for about 5 years. I would just post a podcast on it. I never thought that I would actually make a YouTube channel and make content videos and stuff like that. But I enjoy doing it, so that's why I do it. I keep doing it.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. It is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, and it keeps me in the house and out of trouble.
You Houstonians are like that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm too old to be getting in trouble these days. I'm in a good
Yeah.
place. I'm out of trouble with my wife. I want to keep it that way. So yeah, man. So this has been man, I've really enjoyed this conversation. I've enjoyed getting to know you a little bit more, Alejandro. I want you to keep making that content you make because I really enjoy it. I want you to tell everybody what we can look forward to see coming from Ink Unplugged. And then I want you to let everybody know exactly where we can go. We know we can find you on YouTube at Ink Unplugged, but if there are any other places they can find you at, and if
Mhm.
they're like me and they need to, get their mind, body, and soul
Mhm.
more in tune, where they can find you that in Houston area as well.
Okay. Well, when it comes to my videos, um when creativity starts popping, it'll be whatever I give you, right? It could be I can get somebody from maybe a homeless person, and I'll be like, hey, what do you think about these ink devices? But literally it's coming from my creativity. So if you like this whole intentional focus lifestyle when it comes to ink devices or intentional devices, you can check out my page, Eink Unplugged, on YouTube. Also, I'm on Instagram, Eink Unplugged. And then, what was the other question?
If someone was in the Houston area and they wanted to consult with you, just about like you talked about your mind, body, and spirit with
Oh,
the holistic training and things like that. If someone wanted to look into that and get into that, where can they find you at, and how can they get in contact with you as well?
So I also have another channel called Holistic Habitat. You can just put Holistic Habitat Alejandro, my name, and you'll find my videos on there. And if you are in Houston, or maybe you want to do online training, then I can leave my email with Aaron. And maybe you want to put in the details, functionalhabitat@gmail.com. We can talk about online holistic habits, that kind of stuff. And or if you want personal training, right? You can find me in Houston, called Impact Fitness here in Houston. It's close to Montrose.
Yeah, I know exactly what it is.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, Alejandro, man, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm pretty sure we will talk again. I am trying to I am trying to get a panel of e-ink content creators and influencers together and have one big powwow conversation seminar, whatever we want to call it. But I really, really, really appreciate you coming on the show today, uh, giving us your insight on e-ink and holistic living. And like I said, keep making those videos, brother, and I will always stay in contact with you. And I enjoyed the show.
Let's go.
And you know what I'm saying? We need these Rockets
Yeah.
to beat these Golden State Warriors on Sunday, and we'll be good.
All right, brother.
All right,
Appreciate
everybody,
appreciate you, man.
Alejandro, and thanks for coming on, man.